A pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to the Vlog-A-Thon 4.0. And you know what? Now is a good time for me to pretty much get on back into a little subject of mine that I pretty much had actually revitalized and had released into the world, known as Why's That? It was a Q&A based series that I had during fall of 2018 where people would ask me questions here and there. But unlike the traditional sort of Q&A videos that I've seen on YouTube and all that good stuff, Why's That works differently. You basically ask me something like, why is that you're here on YouTube? Especially because that's what the title of the series is. Why is that? Because why is that questions, if you will, are pretty much going to be the only ones that I will in fact accept. You have hundreds of different possible opportunities and other things out there that you can possibly ask me about, but of course you have to include why is that, and then give me your suggestion on what can I talk about, just to put in an answer to those questions. But what I gotta say for that series by today's standards is that, well, I had a second season for it, which came out, well, just a few months ago. From June to September 2020 was basically what Why's That 2.0 was supposedly known as. But what I can say for sure is that looking back at what I've seen in that, there actually were a lot of questions I started to get. It was no doubt because, well, I was already getting quite a few questions from the immense amount of popularity that I was getting. And there were a lot of people on Twitter that basically were trying to find out exactly what is going on in my life. There are a lot of questions that people have asked me. And even today, there are people out there who do, in fact, ask me some of this stuff. But what I gotta say at this point about Why's That 2.0 and even 1.0 at this point is that, well, the series itself still has over 105 episodes in total, with 105 different questions that I was able to answer in just 2 years, pretty much. Or a little more than 2 years by now, so I gotta say, though, progress has certainly been a pretty big thing going on. But you know what? I guess maybe some point in the future, because there are still a lot of remaining questions that I might have to answer at this point, I don't really want to leave a lot of people hanging. So you know what? Maybe sometime in the next couple of years or so, you could probably expect me to wiggle in some extra room and create a Why's That 3.0. Or maybe better yet, since I already have a 3.0, a 4.0, and even a 5.0 planned, I could probably create a Why's That 2.5 or something like that. Something that basically goes between 2 and 3, but doesn't necessarily connect to 3 or 2 in any ways. Just between them. But until any of that happens, well, I'm still going to wait to see what other kinds of questions people might want to ask me, regardless of what it might actually be. But unfortunately, there's only so many things that I can possibly allow to talk about on my channel. I like to keep my content as G-rated or PG-rated as possible. This is in fact a channel that I do want to deem as family-friendly as possible because so much of the content that I make is pretty much language, obscenity, vulgar, and, well, free of so many things in life that are just as horrendous as ever to ever be devised in human history. I mean, if only everyone on YouTube could be like this. If only everybody out there would refrain from using censors in an unnecessary fashion and just not use any of those kinds of words to begin with. That way, we never have to worry about that kind of stuff ever again, ruining our lives, just like they always have. Showing off that kind of language has ruined our reputations, our intelligence, and our well-being as a whole. I mean, I cannot look at anything like this any other way. And the way people treat each other nowadays, I mean, I don't really know how to begin there either, or where to begin. But I might as well steer clear from that stuff, because, again, I like to keep this channel as clean, as good, and as high-performing as always. So, that's pretty much going to do for this part in the Vlog-A-Thon. But if you want to see more go down on my channel, make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.